Hello everyone, my name is Stefan Gidigishamo, and in this short video we'll be discussing how COVID-19 affected Shippensburg University and its students, starting with a timeline of events. Let's rewind back to March 11th, 2020. Students are on spring break and the COVID-19 pandemic is rapidly spreading in the US. The university releases news that spring break has been extended until March 23rd. During this extended period, the announcement states that faculty would receive training on online course delivery, an ominous sign for the future. 2 days later, another announcement is released stating face-to-face instruction and events are suspended until April 11th. On March 16th, the university suspended all in-person classroom instruction, leaving the remainder of the semester to virtual delivery. At the tail end of the spring semester, a message from President Lori Carter is released, stating the university is planning ahead for the fall semester with an emphasis on safety above all else. The fall semester brought about a transformation for the university. Although many classes were offered online, some still had the option of in-person learning, with a few changes. Desks had to be 6 feet apart, students had to wear masks the entire time, and teachers could only take their mask off if they were behind a plastic screen. On campus, masking and social distancing policies were in place, as well as sanitizing and temperature stations. These changes remained for the following spring 2021 semester. However, due to a surge of cases in PA, the university began the semester with solely remote instruction for the first 2 weeks. A new addition to the spring semester was the Rater Rapid Results Test, a quick test using saliva and returning results within 24 hours. As per the program, students were tested once a week and, if negative, cleared for participating in activities. Ultimately, the program resulted in a much calmer and safer spring semester. Looking back, Shippensburg University has gone through a plethora of changes in regards to COVID. As a student, I was able to experience these changes firsthand and wondered how my peers felt about online learning and their experiences. I interviewed 2 students, with the first student being Benton Greggs, a recent graduate who spent a majority of his senior year learning remotely. Let's take a minute to see how he felt during that time.
We got another week. We're preparing for online. This is online only. And that did come to a surprise. I was like, wow, we're actually going to go online. How is this going to work? Like, how are we going to adapt to learning online and using Zoom and stuff?
True. So how do you feel that affected you at the time, with all of those unknowns when it comes to online learning?
I was confused. I was wondering how online learning is going to operate, how they're going to integrate D2L, and how we're still going to be able to talk to our advisors, get help, contact people. Because in person it was a lot easier. We can go and talk to them, or if there's a professor that we need help with, we can go and talk to them. But with Zoom and online, it made it a lot more difficult for us to be able to interact and talk to each other. And then also, like, being social and being able to talk to people in person, the pandemic really hurt that.
Really had a big effect,
Yeah.
that's true.
Yeah.
So going back to what you mentioned earlier with D2L, did you notice that all of your classes were structured the same way on D2L, or did they have differences among how they were structured? Was there a certain criteria that was just being followed on D2L, or did every professor just do their own thing?
I would say a mix. You could definitely tell that there was a requirement to be done, but also professors had flexibility of how they wanted to teach the class or have their students learn. Like, for instance, I had my one service marketing class. There was no Zoom. There was nothing like that. It was you have weekly assignments that you need to be done. You have to read the chapter, answer questions, and do open discussions on D2L. But each professor was different. A lot of professors did like to use Zoom and still be able to talk to their students and get live feedback, or if they had any questions.
As we can see, Benton's experience was one of surprise and confusion. When it came to contacting and socializing with advisors, teachers, and other students, Ben faced difficulty in an online learning environment. And he isn't the only one. Ashley Grace, a senior at Shippensburg, felt similarly about her online learning experience. So, did you like the effect that going online had on you? Like,
No.
did it make things easier? No. Okay.
No, definitely not.
Why not?
I think I cannot focus with online learning.
Okay.
That was my problem with it. It was good in theory, but it did not work out very well for
So
me, at least.
You found that you had a lack of focus in your classes?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Let's move on to the fall 2020 semester, the next semester. So the university had 42% of its classes offered online, leaving a majority offered in person. Did you take any in-person classes during the semester?
No, I didn't.
No? Okay.
No.
But regardless, did you spend time on campus at all during fall 2020?
Maybe once or twice to use like the library.
Okay.
But that was about it.
And when you were on campus, did you feel safe with the precautions that were there?
Oh yeah. They took a lot of precautions, and then most people weren't on campus at the time, so it wasn't super busy either.
Okay. So it wasn't too risky going on campus. Okay.
No, I felt safer going on campus than to work, so.
Wow, that's great. For online classes, did you find yourself having more difficulty with the work, which you kind of already answered, but did you find that it was harder to also communicate with other people online than it was in person?
I think so, just because if I had a question about an assignment or something, which I wasn't getting, some of my professors were better than others at emailing back, so I could ask them questions and they could take like 2+ days to answer, which is just kind of like
leaves you
as if I could just ask them at class the next time.
Okay, so it could be a little frustrating.
Yeah, a little bit.
And did you talk with classmates more or less when it came down to online learning?
Oh, less. Almost. I didn't know almost anyone in any of my classes.
Okay.
I couldn't point them out.
All right. But my next question for you, though, is throughout the 20 to 2021 year, the university's Edders Healthcare Center offered free COVID tests. And during the spring 2021 semester, offered the Rater Rapid Results Test. So did you get tested at any point with using either of the tests, and how did the process go?
So I did the rapid testing.
Okay. And
it went pretty well. I haven't done the non-rapid testing, but...
Okay. How did the rapid testing go for you then?
Oh, it was negative, but it was just in case you were wondering. But it was pretty fast. It was just kind of like they just kind of swabbed your nose, went away for a few minutes, and came back and told you your results. But I had to get tested at a different place, like back home, and it hurt much worse. It was awful.
So comparing it
yeah.
to outside places was a lot easier?
It was much easier, and I could get appointments faster.
Okay, that's great then. That's what I was going to ask you. So it was like quick turnaround time?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Perfect.
After hearing what these students had to say, it became clear to me that the reason why online learning was disliked was because it wasn't a memorable experience. Any novelty of online learning wore off quickly, leaving students with a mundane array of Zoom calls. Both students mentioned feeling a lack of communication between their peers and sometimes teachers, which made it difficult to be more involved. In addition, students didn't have the same access to resources as they did prior to the pandemic, creating serious problems for certain classes. One such example is a digital photography communication course I took online over the recent spring semester. The course originally intended to provide students a hands-on experience learning about photography and using DSLRs. Due to the pandemic and the course being offered solely online, many students were forced to use whatever they had, which in most cases was their phones. This didn't just affect students negatively, as teachers also struggled to communicate with students through a screen. My professor was frustrated that he couldn't demonstrate certain things to us through Zoom, leaving the course feeling like it was designed to be more. I'm certain other teachers have shared his frustration, facing the task of translating coursework into online formats. Overall, I believe that COVID had a negative impact on Shippensburg University. The college experience just wasn't there, and everything felt disconnected. The university understands this and has been working towards allowing face-to-face instruction as soon as possible. Programs like R3 and Rater Respect have done a great job in keeping the community safe in the past. Looking to the future, the university will be hosting vaccine clinics for campus and the local community, with the first beginning in August. Currently, the fall 2021 semester is set to be in person, and I'm hoping that doesn't change, as I'm looking forward to an exciting and positive final semester.